and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and on this edition, we discuss everything about the stock markets, how the markets have opened in trade, what kind of early indications are you picking up, where are the sectors and the stocks that is all the focus right now in the stock markets, and how are your investments getting impacted. All of that coming up in the next 3 to 4 minutes. So do stay tuned onto with me. Let's start off with the opening action, and then we will go on to the details and the specifics of the stocks and sectors. The Indian equity market slipped into the red amid high choppiness just into early action right when we had opened higher, but we immediately could not sustain those gains and we slipped into the red. Asian markets also traded on a choppy note amid hawkish US monetary policy and the ongoing fluctuations in the commodity markets as well due to the Russia Ukraine crisis. Now, crude oil once again has seen slight slip and it's trading around $118 a barrel when you talk about the Brent crude levels. Also, when you talk about benchmark indices, Sensex and the Nifty, we've seen that just in the early action, Sensex quickly slipped into the red, about 138 odd points or 0.2% at 57,460. The Nifty also moved 38 points down to 17,185, quickly slipping below the 17,200 mark as well. The mid and the small cap shares were seen trading still higher in the initial trading action. They were seen rising about 0.3, 0.4 odd percent. About 9 of the 15 sector gauges of the National Stock Exchange were trading in the red. So the Nifty consumer durables and banks were underperforming the major benchmark index. By falling almost by 1 odd percent in the trade and 0.3% respectively for the banks, especially. The Nifty PSU Bank and the Metal Index, however, gained a bit in the early trading action. On the stock specific front, you have a whole host of stocks like Tata Consumer Products, Maruti, Tech Mahindra, Asian Paints among the laggards. Titan was the top Nifty loser. In fact, it cracked about over 2% in early trade as well. Now, when you talk about the other key important points that all of you need to remember. In contrast, Bharti Airtel, Tata Steel, SBI, and Kotak Mahindra Bank, also Mahindra and Mahindra, these are among the top gainers of the Nifty index into the early action in trade as of now when we talk about. Of course, the whole host of focus will also be on the specific stocks where brokerages are coming out with their reports. Say, for example, CLSA has come out with its report on Maruti. It does believe that the spike in commodity costs and loss in market share are major challenges for Maruti Suzuki going forward from here. It believes the street is too optimistic on the volume and margin recovery, and it maintains a sell rating with a 64.30 target price. Remember, the current market price is higher at 75.33. So the stock market, the price of Maruti Suzuki may be under pressure because of this brokerage house report in today's trading session. CLSA has also come out with a report on UPL. It maintains a buy right there with a target price of 1100. It believes that it has cut FY24 EPS estimates for UPL by 3% on higher logistics costs, but definitely higher demand for its key supplies is going to be definitely a big benefit. It is also going to be a benefit of the price increases taken last year and bodes well for the revenue and profitability going forward. And that is what CLSA has said in its report. Now, Credit Suisse has come out with a report on ICICI Bank. In fact, it maintains a buy rating with the NIMs to pause at this point in time as well. Also, when you talk about Jeffrey's report on Anupam Rasayan, that's going to be in focus again. It has initiated a buy rating with a target price of 1040. Remember, the current market price is somewhere around 859. So that's going to be a big positive for this one as well. Of course, the US markets and the global markets are continuously in focus right now. Domestic markets, you also should keep one more stock in focus, and that is Loris Labs. It has got actually a US FDA nod for an HIV drug as well. So overnight, US markets closed positive, but the Asian markets soon got into a lot of choppiness, and that is what is trickling in into the Indian markets as well. Still, a whole lot of uncertainty around the Russia-Ukraine war and the crisis emerging from there, and the impact that it could have. Some of the reports now also suggest, apparently, UN report has come up with a report on. How India's GDP might be affected because of this Ukraine-Russia crisis. It, in fact, has downgraded by 2 percentage points India's GDP estimates for FY22 or 2022, and that is going to be important for us to track as well because that could also be heavily weighing on the investor sentiment as we move into the weekend mode going forward from here. Of course, the choppiness has continued throughout the trading session, but we'll keep you posted with everything that's developing on D Street. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned with us on to Business Today.